So today I am going to play a deck that I saw Saffron Olive play. It was one of his like budget decks for Modern that he played. It's called Bloody Burn, and it's basically based around like artifact, like the Blood Token Burn style of deck. And it's just like it's pretty gimmicky, but it looks pretty cool. I'm kind of excited to play it. It looks pretty sweet. The fact that you get to play Galvanic Blast and Shrapnel Blast are the big pulls to the deck. Other than that, it's basically just burn and some blood token backup, which is not bad because in grindy games you can cycle through and try to find different cards. The two pieces of Unlicensed Disintegration in the main, those can be good, but those can also be pretty bad too. So I don't know what other burn spell you run in that spot. Like maybe you could run like not Alms of the Vein, but the Sovereign's Bite, like a couple of those in place. I'm not sure. There's only 18 lands. Now I did change the land base a little bit. We added Blackcleave Cliffs and some fetches and some Blood Crypts. We did leave the Drossforge Bridge in. It's the artifact land. And the sideboard is pretty straightforward. 2 Pyrite Spellbombs to try and help deal with pro-red creatures. Pro-red, pro-black, I assume. Unlicensed Disintegration. 2 more, like in matchups where like they play a lot of creatures. Searing Blaze is also really good. Adding the 7 fetch land, or the 5 fetch lands is really good for Searing Blaze. Smash the Smithereens because I highly doubt you can ever beat Chalice of the Void with this deck. And Roiling Vortex is just like a really good card. So pretty excited to play the deck and see what it looks like. It seems more gimmicky than it does anything. Like with Boros Burn, like I don't know, like maybe it has some value and like there's maybe like a certain metagame where you could actually play it in, but it just seems kind of like gimmicky, but it looks fun, so we're going to play it. And other note, the Halo Championships are finishing up today, and I'm pretty excited to see those. Oh, Optic. Well, let's see. Optic are getting ready to play the Sentinels. I wonder if they ended up beating Cloud9 or if Cloud9 won. It looked like Cloud9 was winning, but kind of figured it wouldn't take too long to find modern games, honestly. Alright, let's go. Match number 1. We are on the draw. Our opponent's also playing Lurrus. I think we'll try this on the draw and see what happens. I know there's only 18 lands in our deck, but Epicure is either a good threat to have down. Man, I don't know. That being a tapped land is a problem. Maybe we got a mulligan that looking for a second land. Keep this, put Disintegration back. Watery Grave, say go. We're going to suspend Rift Bolt and say go. Drawing Drossforge Bridge is pretty good. It starts our artifact count towards Galvanic Blast being 4 instead of 2, so. Oh, this is Mill. Okay. Now, that 3-drop that they play, Tasha's Hideous Laughter, is going to be a problem for us. Cast Bump of the Night, say go. Drawing another bridge is fine, but we'd really like to see burn spells the rest of the way. Like, I feel like Vampire's Kiss would be pretty good here. Vampire's Kiss would really allow us to, really just allow us to... Bump of the Night being in the graveyard is not terrible because it does have flashback. I don't think our opponent realizes that this has indestructible. So, Sunday Magic, let's go. What's going on, Ben? Alright, we're going to fetch for a mountain and get Lurrus here. And then we're going to say go, because next turn we can... hopefully they only have one. Okay, appears they only had one. Now, unfortunately, that's a lot of cards. Would like to be able to get into a spot where Galvanic Blast is turned on. Alright, cast Lurrus. Might have a drown in the lock here. Okay. Well, we're probably going to lose the game. That one will probably cost us the game, honestly. I mean, if they have any way to, like, back it up, you know, bin stuff, I mean, that does sound like you. Oh, I'm doing pretty good, man. I'm doing pretty good. I can't complain. Wow. It says that Magic's making a lot of noise. Some part of me is almost inclined to just turn off the sounds in a Magic. Well, highly doubt we're going to win from here. Put our opponent to 16. Actually, the less I have to untap, the better. So we're just going to say go here. Also, Wolfpack. Oh, I just now noticed that guy's message. All right. I mean, any mill spell from here probably wins the game. Like, there's no probably it wins the game. All right, well. We're going to draw another bridge, which was not great. Disintegration feels bad here. Bring in some number of Smash to Smithereens. Bring in a couple just as kind of like a get you kind of thing. Or would we rather have Vortex here? Like Searing Blaze for the crab. Smash to Smithereens to deal with like a random something, I don't know. And a couple of vortexes, and Epicure doesn't seem great here. Let's try it like this and see what happens. I mean, this hand's fine. I'm going to play the bridge on turn 1. And we'll say go. Searing Blaze off the top. Alright, we'll kill the crab and say go. Felt like our opponent was thinking about force of negation there for a second. I would have been surprised if they would have played one. All right. We'll play the other bridge and then say go. You know, for an 18-land deck, we've drawn 4. What makes this deck bloody burn? Does it involve vampires? It actually does involve vampires. Vampires in the new set have come, they make blood tokens, and so you're kind of using those artifact blood tokens to like fuel some of your game plan here, and that's where a lot of that comes from. Our opponent's at 10. We only have 3 more points in our hand, so alright, now we're going to buy Lurrus. I mean, they're milling over all of our artifact stuff here. Like, we haven't got to make a single blood token, which is pretty unfortunate, I feel like. We're going to cast Lurrus here because we can't kill them with the bump in the night here either way, so it's irrelevant. Putting them to 1 doesn't matter here. And they're spending a counterspell on our Lurrus, which is good. I'm okay with that. Alright. Well, they're hitting a lot of our lands, which I'm okay with. Vampire's Kiss. Bump in the night. Alright, they didn't have a second counterspell, so we got that game. I don't think we want to smash the Smithereens here. The orb's not really going to do anything. I think we'd rather just have the vortexes. Yeah, we're going to try it like this. See what happens. This does not feel like a very good matchup for us. Alright, we don't have a single way to produce an artifact in our hand, but we have a lot of 1-drops, so I'm going to keep this and see what happens here. We have a bolt to deal with a crab if we need it. Our opponent keeps their 6. I'm not going to lie, I think my biggest bet here is that their hand's just not that good. We can Galvanic Blast this, which I'm a big fan of, because I'd rather hold the bolt. Alright, well, drawing the Statuette is pretty good. I like having that as our turn 2 play. We just need to hit an untapped land here. Bop them. Yeah, I hope so, man. Hoping we can hit something pretty decent here, like a land. Land was our ideal draw step, not another Shrapnel Blast. I mean, Shrapnel Blast packs a lot of damage for 2 mana, but... Ooh, they're drawing a card off their Visions of Beyond. Tells me that their hand isn't that great. Alright, put our opponent to 17. Land, please. Well, their Field of Ruin is at least just a blank card here. They're not doing anything to our mountain, so... Three cards in their hand. I mean, we're doing what we can here. We kept a 1-lander, and we're kind of getting a little punished for it here. Hopefully we peel into like a Blackcleave Cliffs here or something like that. For my own. Because if we hit a land here, if we hit an untapped land and we resolve Statuette, then the following turn we can go Shrapnel Blast, sacrifice the blood token, hit them for 5, and then turn the Statuette into a 3/3, so it's an 8-point turn, which is pretty solid. Now all of this does bank on us drawing a land at some point. I mean, we're 12 cards in and haven't seen another land. I feel like, I mean, we're only playing 18, so it's not crazy, but at the same time, I kind of feel like we should have seen one. Like, the fact that we're seeing all of that and not, like, and we're not even hitting 1-drops is pretty annoying. Alright, we're going to say go. We'll Galvanic Blast them at the end of their turn. Would like to hang on to Galvanic Blast for the 4 damage. Where we're going, we don't need land. I wish that was true. I do like the Back to the Future reference though. We're playing Modern, and I just cast Shock. Alright, let's cast the Statuette. I mean, they haven't cast a... I figured they had a Drown the Lock there. Maybe they feel like they don't need to Drown the Lock that. I feel like they're probably just going to cast Archive Trap here, honestly. Yeah. This Tasha Fractured Sanity, okay. Hit them for 5. Sacrifice an artifact. Alright, hopefully they don't have Fatal Push here. Like, or Spell Pierce. Like, there are a lot of things that could go wrong for us in this situation. All right. All right, I'm honestly just kind of glad that we had a fetchable land there. No Spell Pierce, please. Okay. No Spell Pierce, please. No Force of Negation? Wow. Okay. Man, that was crazy. I cannot believe we won that game. That was wild. I cannot believe that we won that game. That was... wow. Okay, well, we beat Blue-Black Mill game 1 off the back of them mulliganing and having a really bad hand. I've played enough to know it's true, but it blows my mind that you were up 20-3 and you said you might be in a tough spot. Nice job. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. It's one of those weird matchups where like they're just milling us out, and there's a rule of Magic that says if you can't draw a card during your, like, whenever you would draw a card, you lose the game. And so my life total doesn't, like, not super relevant because they're just trying to take my library out of cards. So that was interesting. Was very surprised that we won that game. Our opponent had to have a bad hand, and they did. And it worked out for us, though. Thanks for coming by and hanging out today, Ben. I appreciate it, man. Taking a minute to find games today playing Modern, which is very surprising. Modern games are normally very fast. Well, Modern game, I guess playing the games may not be fast, but it normally finds games pretty fast, I feel like. Hi, and good luck. Yep, select Lurrus. Yeah, we'll try this. I like having Epicure on turn 1, and I like having follow-up of a bunch of 1-drops. We can also start, like, if we don't draw a land, we can start cycling our blood tokens here to try and find lands if we need to, so... Our opponent mulligans, okay. Hits them for 1, we make a blood token. Voldaren Epicure is actually a really good card. The fact that it hits them for 1 is really sweet. A land would be ideal, but tough to say that we... well, alright. Alright, play Vampire's Kiss. Say go. We have 12 points in our hand here. Playing any tournaments anytime soon? I don't know if there's really any tournaments coming up. I'm sure there'll be one like in January sometime. But if I'm being honest, I'm not 100% sure what's coming up in January. So I don't know yet. I hope so, though. I hope so, man. I think me and Carly are going to try and come up and see you guys pretty soon here. I hope. Hope we get that chance to. Alright, we just need our opponent not to kill us this turn, which I think sadly is possible with an Amulet of Vigor in play. Unlicensed Disintegration is actually really good in this matchup. I just thought about that. That would be cool. But this time we're doing nothing but photosynthesizing. I'm gonna be honest. I can only assume that is some like plural version of photosynthesis. Like, and if it's not, I don't know what you're signing me up for, but I mean, what the heck? You've never led me down the wrong road before. Alright, land, please. Alright, I'm going to put my opponent to 2 here in case they have to shock for some weird reason. Yeah, it was a SpongeBob path. Oh, I did not realize that. That one. Whoosh. They search for Teleria West. Okay. They're going to bounce that back to their hand. Cast Summoner's Pact, get Prime Time. And I've never led you down a wrong path because we just sit at the top as stop signs and I don't offer direction. I mean, that's fair. If you don't tell me where to go, then we can't be wrong. So our opponent only gets to gain 2 here and go to 4, which is actually kind of nice because they can't copy the Radiant Fountain because it came into play with it. So that's kind of nice. And they've already played a land, so I'm pretty sure they've already played a land. 200 IQ. I mean, that's true. Alright, Epicure is lethal here. Shrapnel Blast is lethal. Galvanic Blast is lethal. Skewer, another Lava Spike, Lightning Bolt, Bump in the Night. Vampire's Kiss is not lethal. So, the Statuette, and Vampire's Kiss, and Unlicensed Disintegration. None of those cards are lethal. But basically, I mean, there's a ton of outs here. Like, I think even a land. No, I guess not. Because if we hit a land, I don't know what our opponent's doing here. I can only assume that they have an Azusa or a Dryad here to play, and then, okay, they're going to Pact for 1. Now they're going to go to 6. So if we suspend Bolt last turn, we actually win this turn because we're looking at Bump in the Night Lava Spike. We're going to go to 19 here. Right, because I have to do this because Rift Bolt won't kill them. Well, that'll do it. Alright. We peel it off the top to get there. Let's go. Sometimes you just get lucky like that. Alright. Disintegration feels really good. Searing Blaze seems not great here. We're only playing four creatures in the Voldaren Epicure. So I don't know how great that is. Maybe we want a couple of Smash to Smithereens to help us deal with the Amulet. Shrapnel Blast, Galvanic Blast, and Unlicensed Disintegration can help us deal with the Dryad. Now, I feel like Vampire's Kiss, well, I don't know. Epicure is pretty bad here. I don't know. Epicure gets blocked by Dryad, Azusa, Arboreal Grazier, and Primetime. Like, it has the worst, like, conversion rate here, I feel like. Well, we have no land, so we're going to have to mulligan this one. Our opponent could have gotten, our opponent could have attacked and done some stuff, so... keep this, put a land back. Alright, smash off the top, please. Unlicensed Disintegration's not bad. We will need to hit a third land, but Vampire's Kiss does give us the artifacts to turn on Disintegration. Oh man, am I just dead? Well, the fact that they put in Urza Saga makes me feel pretty good. Alright, well. Cast Vampire's Kiss. And now we basically just get to say go the rest of the game, holding up Unlicensed Disintegration. I mean, okay. So we're not dead yet. I feel like in some way, let's see, 3, we put our opponent did not make an Urza Saga token, which is interesting. I'm going to fetch here. Like, I don't know if they play Pithing Needle, but I don't want to give them the chance to get a Pithing Needle, so I'm just going to fetch for a basic here. Kind of surprised they didn't make a token off of that. I'm wondering if our opponent meant to do that or if it was just an accident. Now they're going to make a token? Okay. They get a third Amulet of Vigor. They're not playing like Shadow Sphere or anything here. I mean, like a Bounce Slam, like, I mean, I guess they think it kills us, but the fact that we have Disintegration back up here is pretty sweet. Okay. Yep. Alright, so they got to go through all the steps here, but they do get to put a Titan into play. And they can bounce Urza Saga back to their hand. Bounce a Forest. Okay. So I'm going to let them fetch here. I'm going to see if they try to, like, give their Titan haste here. Because we can just Disintegration it. And then if we really need to, we can Shrapnel Blast the Construct token next turn. Okay, so now they get to give their Titan haste. Yep. And then they get to give their construct token haste. Oh no, I love it. You're going to try and load up here. Dude, yes, this is exactly the kind of stuff that we need here. The fact that he tried to load up on his prime time is great here because he's not... I mean, to be fair, like, there's not many cards he should be playing around here. But I'm not complaining because in the beginning of his combat step, we're going to cast Unlicensed Disintegration, put you to 12. And then you get to hit us for nothing this turn, which is pretty sweet. Alright, what are we looking for here? That feels pretty good because now we can... They have to pay for their pact here, which means they're using Forest Growth Chamber Saga, more than likely. And then we get to disintegrate whatever we feel like. Well, I mean, we're going to disintegrate the construct token here. I just get a 4th Amulet of Vigor. Not going to lie, I'm pretty surprised they're not running like Shadow Spear or something like that. I thought these lists ran like a one of in the sideboard for stuff like this. Disintegration the token. A land here, please. That gives us 3 artifacts, which puts our opponent to 5, and then we're going to Shrapnel Blast by sacrificing a blood token and kill him. Alright, cool. Well, drawing that artifact land was actually a really good draw right there. Okay, well. Makes us 2-0. Unlicensed Disintegration really helps us beat up on prime time. That and the fact that our opponent wasn't very good. Like, our opponent, I feel like, hadn't been playing prime time very long. Because I feel like if they had, like, they would have, like, I don't know. It just feels like they could have given multiple things double strike there, I think. Our opponent's also playing Lurrus. I mean, this hand's really good. Just kind of what they do depends on what we're playing on turn 1. Alright, we're just going to play the artifact land turn 1. I feel like if our opponent watches any amount of main deck Sanctifier in Vec, okay. Oh, gotta pay a red for that. Main deck Sanctifier in Vec is pretty interesting. Really don't know what our opponent's on. I feel like if our opponent watches any amount of Goldfish on YouTube, then they probably know what we're up to. Whoa, is this like humans? We're gonna sacrifice this. Yep. We're gonna skewer the Thalia's Lieutenant and then get in for 3. Put our opponent to 11, and then we have 11 points in our hand. We just have to hang on long enough to not die to our opponent's onslaught. And we know that they drew the vial because they didn't play it on turn 1. They buy Lurrus and attack for 3. Okay. So I think playing Epicure just actually takes a turn off here. Alright. We're not even going to take the time to, like, fire up the statuette. Like, in case they're running, like, main deck Path or something crazy. Okay, Unsettled Mariner does slow us down a little bit. So, an untapped land wins the game here? No, now it does not. Yep, we're going to turn this into a 3/3. We're going to draw an extra card. If he doesn't block here, then he is dead. Okay. I have 7 points on the board. Nope. Yep. And then, yep, pay 1 for Unsettled Mariner. And then next turn we can Lava Spike them and suspend a Rift Bolt. Meddling Mage? What are we naming here? I'm really curious to know what they even name here. I feel like playing main deck Sanctifier in Vec is actually pretty sweet. Like, I feel like it's not only like cool, but also really good. Is Lightning Bolt? Okay, Lightning Bolt does not affect us. We go to 7. Alright, so I think we gotta start by drawing a card here. So, man, that's tough too. Because Shrapnel Blast puts them to 3, but we're going to die. Because we can... Yeah, we can suspend Rift Bolt and kill him next turn, but we're just going to die, so we're forced to Shrapnel Blast. Yeah, there's no way out of this one here. That's tough. We just kind of got on the back foot there and couldn't really do much. Spellbomb, Searing Blaze. Epicure is not going to be good. And honestly, I feel like this one's probably not going to be good, but at the same time, we can't really... Yeah, I feel like as much as I'd like to, I feel like we can't have that. I mean, Bump of the Night is the most, like, it is the, like, most taxing one on our mana, most taxing Lava Spike on our mana. Alright, well, we're going to suspend Rift Bolt here and say go. Humans is a hard matchup with any style of burn deck. Like, unless you're just playing like 4 Searing Bloods and 4 Searing Blazes in the main, like it's just really hard to get in there with all of the stuff you need to. Play Statuette, say go. It feels like they're just playing blue-white humans. Like, maybe they're actually playing, like, black, like, for Esper. Like, so they get Freebooter and some stuff like that, but... Really like to draw into... Man, that's not good either. But I think we're going to take this opportunity to go ahead and get it off the battlefield. The fact that they're playing Sanctifier, Invec, and Core Firewalker is very interesting. It says to me that they feel like they have a bad matchup against Burn, which I don't really understand. I mean, I guess, like, it's probably not great against, like, normal Burn with Deflecting Palm and stuff. The worst part here is that Pyrite Spellbomb is really, like, wow. Alright, this game's over here. Pyrite Spellbomb's, like, really our only answer. Yeah, no, I mean, I gotta let you draw cards. I have no choice at this point. That's really tough here. Maybe we get lucky and they just kind of like attack out and don't have anything to do, and we can Rift Bolt them to 6, Galvanic Blast them to... Oh, wow, of course. Galvanic Blast them to 4. And and I don't... 3, 6, 8, 10. We go to 7 here. This is another Thalia's Lieutenant? Oh my gosh. Bro. Get in the bread zone, big fella. Yep, so we're gonna Rift Bolt them, I mean, because we're either gonna draw lethal or we're not here. Rift Bolt them to 1. Or to 6, I mean. 4, 1. Yeah, I mean, we might as well. They're more than likely blocked, but if we get lucky and the off chance that they don't block here, yeah, it was like if they didn't block, then we have a chance. But we basically get to put them to 3 here because we Galvanic Blast them to 4 and then Lava Spike them to 3. So, yeah, that's a tough matchup. Our opponent was playing Core Firewalker, Sanctifier, Invec, and the Shapeshifter targeting guy. I can't remember what he's called right now, but that's a hard matchup. Like, there's not a damage-based red deck in the world that will find themselves winning that matchup on a regular basis. Like, every now and again, sure, but on a regular basis, not a chance. Oh, we've been paired. Let's go. Alright, well, we're 2-1. Hopefully we don't get that matchup again. Yeah. Hi and good luck, opponent. I'm sure we'll keep this. I mean, this hand feels pretty solid. We're going to lead on the bridge, and then we'll more than likely play Blood Crypt into the Statuette. You know, Wizards is traditionally pretty bad about like making um, like creature types like vampires, humans, like stuff like that in standard good enough to play by themselves. Like it's been like you don't see like red black vampires is not normally good enough to be played and like do well in a major event. Like it's just like Wizards doesn't give enough support to cards like that. And that's one thing I wish they would do. Like I wish one set they just go crazy and like they just give like elves like 2 or 3 lords and like collective company and just make it super powerful so that people are like inclined to play like those like tribes. Like that's just something I wish I saw more of in Magic. Our opponent is either not there or they're really in the tank about their keep. Oh, there they are. They're back. I start watching Halo for 2 seconds and they come back. It's always how it goes. Yep, tap for red, say go. Okay. There's no companion, so it feels like we're probably playing against Murktide of some variety. Cast Bump in the night. I'm going to suspend a Riftbolt here, basically no matter what they do, because I feel like there's a very low chance that they're playing, like this is a Teferi deck. I mean, it could be, Flooded Strand does present the fact that they could be on white, but I don't know, it just doesn't feel likely here. Especially after them playing Consider. Double Consider. They Consider to the top, which means it was probably their Consider on top, and then they Consider to the top again. Now, Unlicensed Disintegration will be very good against Murktide, so that's exciting. Cast Skewer the Critics. Counterspell, sure. Lava Spike you. Say go. They might be running Spell Pierce. Some decks have went towards playing that in their main deck. Seeing as how it beats up on Rhinos pretty good, so beats up on Rhinos pretty well, pretty good. I don't know. We're just going to keep casting our cards here. I'm sure that they are holding some number of removal spells. Like they probably have a Lightning Bolt. This Archmage's Charm. They're just going to hard cast Force of Negation. Okay. I mean, I imagine that they are playing, like they have like a Lightning Bolt and Unholy Heats in their hand right now, honestly. I'm kind of leaving the Statuette back for a reason. I also haven't played a Threat yet, which I'm pretty happy about, I won't lie. I think I said that, now they're going to play a Murktide. Yep, there it is, land. Alright, no Spell Pierce. Or Flusterstorm, please. I guess or Force of Negation. They could have multiple things here. Alright, well the fact that that resolves is pretty sweet. Feel pretty good about that. Alright. I'm still convinced that our opponent is just holding on to removal spells here. Like they probably have like an Archmage Charm or something to counter this with, but counter spell. I'm gonna go ahead and cast Lightning Bolt here. I mean, they have to have Flusterstorm or Spell Pierce here in the main to be able to counter that. Alright, DRC's pretty good. Cast Iteration. Okay, so I think that tells me that they had no more counter spells. They might now. Bobble. They put Ragavan into the yard off of their last trigger. They left this one on top. I mean, drawing a burn spell here would be pretty sweet. Wow, okay, they just didn't have it. Okay. It worked out better than I thought it would, I won't lie to you. I think Searing Blaze is really good in this matchup, along with the Unlicensed Disintegration. Voldaren Epicure is really good here because it blocks DRC in the early turns, and it blocks Monkey anytime we need it to. Cards that don't seem great here. The Statuette just kind of feels bad here, I won't lie. I'm wondering if maybe we should keep some number in. I don't know. I feel like we're keeping Epicure here, and we have Vampire's Kiss to help us generate blood tokens, so I feel like there's not much in the way of us actually cutting that. Alright. Getting game 1 against the Murktide deck is really big. I like this hand a lot. This hand's really good. I like having multiple Epicures here. Like, I like having 3 lands too, because there's not a lot of lands, and there's not many lands in our deck, so I feel like it gives us a good opportunity to not be stuck drawing a bunch of lands. I'm going to lead on Epicure and say go here. I can't remember if these decks still play Thought Scour or not. I know that they did when they first became, like, when the Murktide decks first became a thing, they were playing Thought Scour, but I can't remember if they are anymore. Can only assume our opponent is lagging here in some way. Cast Consider. Okay. He considers a pull. Yeah, our opponent fetched there, so yeah, they consider to the top. I'm gonna attack for 1 here. You'll love to see it. Cast Epicure. Okay. You're gonna kill the one that I have. And then we're gonna say go here. We're gonna hold up Lightning Bolt. Like having multiple Lightning Bolts in our hand. We're definitely just gonna cast one at the end of the turn here. We could start cycling our tokens, but I see no reason to. Alright, let's attack for 1. Put our opponent to 12. Cast Vampire's Kiss. Alright, I'm going to hope that my opponent fetches here at the end step. If they do, we're just going to slam a Galvanic Blast. We are going to go to 17 here. Would rather have another black source. Probably won't come up, but I'd like to have one. Maybe they have Force Negation. Oh, they do not have Force Negation. Okay. Alright, our opponent's at 5, and we have 7 points in our hand, plus Galvanic Blast. Okay, Murktide Regent, sure. Drawing Skewer there, I'm pretty sure just locks up the game. Like they have to have like Counterspell. Okay. They have to have Flusterstorm and Force Negation blue card here. I'm not going to pay for the Flusterstorm copies here. I am going to go for Galvanic Blast. Alright. Well, that worked out pretty well for us. That makes us 3-1 with the old Bloody Burn deck. That was pretty sweet. Beating up on Murktide felt pretty nice right there, I won't lie. I don't know. There's actually quite a bit of synergy with this deck, I'm not going to lie. Like, it feels pretty good. It feels like the sideboard could definitely use some work. I think we might want to be on, since we're not playing a ton of creatures, we probably want to be on a 3rd Pyrite Spellbomb, and I think we probably want to be on a 3rd Searing Blaze here to try and help mitigate in other creature matchups. There might be a question to adding a 19th land, but I don't really feel like it. I don't really feel like that. Like, it could be right, but I doubt it. I feel like 18 lands with all the blood tokens like really helps us out here. Come on, phone, get it together. Hi, good luck, opponent. This hand's really good. Like, again, when your opponent sits down and plays 3-1, great start. Yeah, man, it's been a pretty good start to this league. I'm feeling like this deck's actually pretty cool. I'm really enjoying it. Seachrome Coast. Alright. I bet this is Spike's list. If it's Spike's list, I'm like, which is what it feels like, I'm definitely just going to fetch for a Blood Crypt here because our life total is not super relevant. Now he plays like Ending. You're going to get Batter Skull here, I imagine. Yep. Okay. So we get to sacrifice a blood, like Shrapnel Blast with this card is just so good. We get to put our opponent to 13. And then we get to put our opponent to 10. Alright, so they're going to evoke Solitude here and get rid of our Statuette. Which I admit is not great for us. They get rid of another Stoneforge Mystic. Alright, so the problem here is that they can play... Alright, well they haven't... Okay, bounce the blood token. That's actually not bad. Alright, our opponent's at 6 here. Now, we get one more turn before they can slam Batter Skull. Not that I'm 100% sure if they even would. Would have rather have seen like a Lava Spike or a Shrapnel Blast or something there. Because if he counters my Bump in the Night, then I'm in a pretty tough spot. Because I actually don't get to cast my Skewer the Critics. So I guess we're just going to say go here. Because our opponent didn't have to fetch or anything there. And that's kind of tough. Well, the fact that our opponent's not playing Batter Skull there because they had to play Seacrum Coast makes me feel pretty good. Alright, well, we're just going to spin 3 here to cast Rift Bolt. Suspending it isn't an option with the Fairy being in play, so... Alright, well, you got Batter Skull and 2 cards here. If you play the Batter Skull... Alright, so you either have Force of Negation... or you have nothing here. Alright, so you do not have Force of Negation. Alright, burn spell, please. Rift Bolt again? Really? Alright, I guess we have to get rid of... Yeah, we have to cycle the Rift Bolt and look for another burn spell. That sucks. So our opponent's going to go back to 10, and then we're just stuck in a spot where we can never really do anything. Yeah, there's not much we can do about that. That's unfortunate. Drawing 3 Rift Bolts like that was pretty rough because, well, honestly, drawing the Skewer was pretty bad too there. Like, if we draw a Lightning Bolt, like Lightning Bolt, Shrapnel Blast, like Lava Spike, there was a lot of outs there. Man, this feels like a Chalice deck. Yeah, he's playing Chalice in his list. I remember he is. So let's see here. Statuette feels pretty good. We're bringing in 4 Vortex, so we're going to cut our 4 Rift Bolts because those will actually get hit. Maybe we don't want Disintegration with all of our cards we're bringing in here. And then we cut a couple of Epicures because they're not the greatest cards in the world. All right. I'd be lying if I said I felt like this hand wasn't a little lacking, but we have good burn spells, so I really want to keep it here. We're going to get a basic mountain here, cast Bump in the Night. Cast Skewer, say go. We can put our opponent down to 11 real quick, but we're kind of out of stuff here. Sanctifying back. Okay. I'm just going to go ahead and cast this here. I think getting rid of a land to put our opponent to 4 is fine, because especially considering we drew another one. Now, Galvanic Blast is only 2 damage here, so it's not a wonderful spot, but we're just going to say go here. Our opponent more than likely has Counterspell. Our opponent says, so far, I like it. They must have been referring to our deck. That's pretty funny. I'm glad that you like it, buddy. I wish I could claim that it was original, but it's not me. Our opponent does not go for a counterspell there. Okay. They discard Jace the Mind Sculptor. We go for lethal. I was like, they have to play their counterspell there. We'll play Blood Crypt and say go. Alright, hopefully they don't have Force Negation here. That, and hopefully we draw a burn spell. Lava Spike is good. Okay, I was like, because if they do have Force Negation, it allows us to get Lurrus too. Yep. 4 Vortex, 4 Smash to Smithereens. I mean, I feel like it doesn't really get much better than this. I know that Rift Bolt plays around them having Chalice of the Void and us not having Smash to Smithereens, but I think the 5 damage, like they do race us a little bit, so I think the 5 damage that they would have off of Rift Bolt on Vortex is just not worth it. It also appears that our opponent is just on blue-white. And then our opponent's not on red in any way. We have yet to see, like, Steam Vents or anything, really, so we're just going to say go here. We're going to play the Lightning Bolt in case they do have, like, Chalice here. Alright, we'll go upstairs. I know that we have to have a way to deal with it because we gave them the illusion that we didn't there, so Galvanic Blast this, play the bridge, say go. Alright, well, we either need to find enough points to kill them before Moorland Haunt. Interesting. We need to find enough points to kill them before they get to Batterskull or... Oh. Alright, opponent, if you could stop playing those cards, that would be great. Alright, hang on. Alright, so Vampire's Kiss to 15. And then Galvanic Blast to 11. Shrapnel Blast to 6. So if we hit a land, we can win the following turn. It's also based around them not having a counterspell in any way. Alright, so they have Flusterstorm. Just going to use this to pick off the Stoneforge Mystic here. Then putting Batterskull into play, like without us having a Vortex or something, will be pretty backbreaking. Man, we do have an answer for the Batterskull token at least. We'd really like to see a Smash to Smithereens right here when they slam the Batterskull. They Still have all the Skyclaves. Smash the Smithereens. One time. And put them to 8 and then put them to 5. Sacrifice this. Play this, say go. We're at least slowing them down. Be back in 5. Alright, well our opponent has just openly let us know they were stepping away from the keyboard there. I mean, I guess at least they were nice enough to let us know. It feels like quite a few things have to go right here for us to win this game. Our opponents had Flusterstorm, Counterspell, and double Stoneforge Mystic that we've had to deal with. Because if we don't kill them, then we are just going to lose to them. Like, that's inevitable, so... What is this? Is this game like Domination? I'm sorry, like, I'm watching Halo right now. Or waiting on our opponent to come back. And I can't tell if they're playing Domination or if it's King of the Hill. Looks like King of the Hill. I'm actually going to run and use the bathroom real quick while our opponent's gone. Oh, sweet. I came back just in time. Opponent plays the fairy in pluses and says go. They have Maul, an unknown card in hand. They could have a counterspell here. It appears their last card is counterspell. Well, if our opponent ever gets to a point where they decide to bounce Batterskull back to their hand, then we're pretty toast. We're just going to cast our spells. Yep, bounce Batterskull back to Moorland Hunt. Oh, they're going to equip this. Okay. Interesting. Well. Alright. Here's to hoping that we draw a Smash the Smithereens. Alright, I'm going to concede because we're not going to win this game. So, oh well. Gave it a good run though. Wasn't bad. We had a 3-2 run there, and we just ended up getting like Batterskull to death there that last round. So this deck was actually pretty sweet. I was talking about how at the beginning of the league that I felt like it was that the deck was just kind of gimmicky, and that there wasn't really a lot you could do. But this deck, in a lot of weird ways, like I don't know, like Saffron Olive, like credit to that man here because he kind of outdid himself here. This one is pretty sweet here. The bridge land is so weird because it's kind of like it's slow, but it's really good because it helps with Shrapnel Blast and it helps turn on Galvanic Blast, and like it just, I don't know, the deck has a lot of synergy. This is like, as much as I would like to say synergy burn, honestly, is the best way to think about it. Sideboard, I think the sideboard needs to change, honestly. Like, I'm not sure what you cut out here. Like, you probably need a third Pyrite Spellbomb to help you deal with the pro red, pro black creatures. And honestly, when people like, man, I don't know, people are playing Sanctifier Invec, not Core Firewalker right now, so you really need Pyrite Spellbomb. I was gonna say like you could run Fatal Push, or you could run like some like Murderous Cut in the sideboard or something like that, but that doesn't seem good enough. So I think if you cut down to 3 Roiling Vortexes, you can play 3 Pyrite Spellbomb, and then I think Searing Blaze and Unlicensed Disintegration are just really good. Kind of add to the top of just kind of help add the creature removal. So, but I think you need all 4 Smash to Smithereens here, honestly.